dream comes hard work, and chasing that dream is worth every feeling's hurt. So if I somehow offended you, man, fuck it, cause it's game time and I'm out here trying to score a bucket. A man can only hold another man down for so long. That man's words can only be so strong. We progress. This is
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is J.H. How y'all doing, Postal family? Is everybody good? Is everybody cool? Everybody clean? Are you crisp? Are you feeling irie today? Let's talk. It was pretty quiet last week, but we gonna jump into some stuff this week. I wanted to talk about it last week, but I ain't have a chance. Listen, before we continue, in my pinned comment, I always try to leave something for somebody that's going through financial hardships. Please don't email me asking me how to help you fill that out and does it work in your state. If you just check the website, it does tell you if it does cover your state. Number two is that I have used them. A lot of people have used them. There's nothing embarrassing about using them. I don't necessarily promote them, period. All I'm saying is that they're there if you need them. Got it? Cool. Please don't email me. I don't have that kind of time. Asking me, can you help me? That's silly. Let's talk about some serious stuff that it might be a game changer for you all. But before I continue with that, I'm no way informed suggesting anyone to do this. I'm simply giving you the information that is there. All right, I just want to cover that. And I don't represent the United States Postal Service, and nor am I speaking on behalf of the United States Postal Service. Now that I got that out the way, y'all need to know your rights in regards to picture and video recordings while on the clock. It's almost one of those things where people have gotten fired for this. Fired for this. Now, if you're on the clock and you're out there making TikTok videos of you dancing and shaking your ass on some mail, yes, fire your ass. You don't deserve to be here. You're making a mockery of us. But there is a rule, which is POM 124.58, photographs on postal premises. A lot of people don't know about it. A lot of people won't speak about it, but I'll tell you one more time. POM 124.58, photographs on postal premises. This is one of those controversial topics, but it states photographs may be taken on Postal Service property only with the permission of an installation head or authorized designee. However, photographs may be taken without permission when they are for personal use and do not disrupt operations or infringe on employee duties. Let's continue. Stericycle Inc. 372, National Labor Relations Board number 13. A rule is presumptively unlawful if a reasonable employee could interpret it as chilling their Section 7 rights. The employer must prove it has legitimate business interests that cannot be achieved with a more narrowly tailored rule. This information is concise but powerful summary of the USPS employees' rights regarding photography and video recording in the workplace, particularly when enforcing their labor rights under collective bargaining agreement. Boy, this is where it gets. This is almost your get out of jail free card. It's a breakdown of its implications. The USPS policy, POM 124.58. The Postal Operations Manual states that while USPS generally requires permission for photography on property, there is an exception. Employees do not need permission to take photos or videos if it's for personal use. It doesn't disrupt operations. This means that if USPS is recording document contract violations, example, working conditions that are unsafe, improper mail handling, or management misconduct, etc., they do not need prior approval as long as the recording does not interfere with the work. This is how you cover your ass. The Stericycle Incorporated and National Labor Relations Board ruling in 2023, key labor law precedent, established a major precedent regarding workplace policies that could restrict employees' Section 7 rights under the National Labor Relations Act. It includes the right to engage in protective concerted activity, example, discussion wages, working conditions, unionizings, etc. The right to document workplace issues. Photos and videos are part of enforcing labor rights. The new standard, any workplace rule, including no photography policies, is presumptively unlawful if a reasonable employee could interpret it as restricting their Section 7 rights. The employer must prove that they have legitimate business justification, security, or privacy. The rule narrowly tailored. It doesn't necessarily restrict employee rights. Here goes. You cannot go in there and start recording people's addresses. Don't do that. It got nothing to do with what you got going on. What it means for you. Photography and videography for contract enforcement. Employees have a strong argument that recording to document contract violations, safety hazards, improper discipline is protected activity. Crossing crafts, it violates the contract. Management doing your work violates the contract. Sexual harassment violates the contract. Threats of violence violates the contract. There are so many things. See, while working underneath a union, we are protected by a bunch of things. And the problem is that we keep saying that we don't have any protections because our specific union won't help us. I know, I talk about it all the time, but it is documented what management can do and what employees can do. Do not violate the contract, employees. Don't do that. If you're out there just working and minding your own business like you always do, and then something comes up where you feel like you're threatened, intimidated, harassed, etc., this is what that means, where you challenge unfair policies. If management disciplines an employee for recording without proving a real disruption or security risk, it can be considered an unfair labor practice under the National Labor Relations Association. Employees can file a ULP charge with the National Labor Relations Board if your rights are violated. Here's some practical advice. Document your workplace issues. Write it down. Be discreet. Don't sit there and talk to other people and say, "Hey, you see this? Look at this. Would y'all come and look at this?" It's not. You don't start no shit. If you got an issue and you want to sit there and try and take care of it, clearly state. If somebody asks you what that recording is for personal use related to workplace conditions. If you confronted by management, you cite the POM 124.58 personal use exception. Reference Stericycle. Employer must justify the restrictions. And don't walk into your stations, don't walk by the bundle sorter and start recording the mail. If the machine is shooting sparks out of it and they want you to go work at that machine and you know it's dangerous, bro, no, just go over there and work. Okay, that is justification. They tell you get on a forklift and you see that the wheel's about to fall off. That's justification. You about to get beat up and you sitting there talking about, hey, this manager keeps sexually harassing me or whatever the case is. That's justification. Don't go misconstrue the rules that they set forward for your own personal. You understand what I'm saying? USPS employees, you do have rights to take photos and videos when it's enforcing your contract and documenting workplace issues, so long as it does not disrupt the operation. Now, here's your thing. A lot of employees have reached out to me. Hey, what can I do? I always tell them, reach out to your union. My union's not doing nothing. I tell them to reach above their president. They're not helping me. Nobody's responding. Now you can document. I'm not saying go do this every. This is going to cause a lot of problems. You realize that. But somehow, some way, somebody found this loophole and it's there. You can look it up for yourself. I will actually put a picture up of it if I haven't already in the video. So you have that as your backup. Please do not abuse it. That's the problem that we have. There are a lot of rules that we have that are in the contract between us and management, and then we turn around and we abuse those rules. This is not for you to abuse those rules. This is for you to utilize them to make sure that you're not being abused. I don't know if I can emphasize that or reiterate that even stronger, but this is not a get out of jail free card. This is not for you to sit there and antagonize somebody, and the moment they try to, correct you, then don't you do that. This is not a fear tactic that you use to try to get management to bend to your will either, because there's a lot of people that try to do that in reverse. So yes, I am all for the workers' rights, workers, regardless of whether or not you're a craft employee or management. But if there's only one way that we can bring this whole culture back, or the way it's supposed to align, is through a photography, a photograph, or through video, then that's what you should be doing, because it's your word against theirs. I mean, I've heard people getting into meetings and they're getting, or, stand-up talks, and they got their managers or supervisors screaming at them and talking to them like children. They got to stop that. They got to, because I don't care what supervisor you are or, who you think you are. Two things. At the end of the day, when you punch out, you're just a regular person. For some reason, when they punch in, they feel as if they have some super authority. You got to realize you treat people the way you want to be treated, respect people the same way you want respect, but you're not going to talk to somebody like they're less than you. These are grown people. Some of them have children, some of them have grandchildren. And then you got some supervisors that are real arrogant just because they have a title and a level of pay. They feel like they can degrade you. That's not the case. You are nobody. I just got to bring you back down to reality. You're nobody. The moment you punch out, you're not that federal employee. No, that's who you are at work. Respect each other, because that's what you'd want back. You wouldn't want nobody talking to you like that. So don't talk to your employees or disrespect your employees, or they'll go hunting down the new employees and talking about, oh, this new girl just came in. There goes my target, my next target. And you never ever get reprimanded for it. That's the one thing that, a lot of employees can't stand. It's like they almost feel helpless when it comes down to management, because the management never gets reprimanded for anything that they do wrong. They'll get moved to one spot, or they'll get moved to another spot, or, we're dealing with it. It never happens fast enough for them. And the majority of the people that can't deal with it, they end up quitting. Look, don't quit. You're there to make money, and you're there to do a simple job. Now, if you're a lazy son of a bitch, then, it is what it is. Do not utilize these base rules that are set forward for you to try to abuse the system, because those are people that are sitting there messing it up for the rest of us. All right. There's excellent managers, but then you got the dickheads that mess it up for the rest of the good managers. You got these managers that feel like they're above the law. You're nobody. Nobody. You punch in, you're somebody at work, but that's it. You can't go home and tell your wife or your children or your husband, oh yeah, I'm a supervisor. That shit don't mean none of them. Let me bring you back down to reality. That don't mean none of them. If it don't mean none of them, when you get to work, understand it really only means but so much when you're at work. A position of power should only be utilized for work duties. When you turn it around and try to be abusive with your words towards a fellow employee, because that's all you are. You're just a fellow employee. We all get paid by the same people. Then you're abusing your power. enough with that. With all that being said, utilize this information for what it's worth. Again, majority of this is for simply safety hazards and for violating the contract. Do not abuse it. The rules are there, and if your union doesn't know about it, it's in the United States Postal Service manual. So just go look it up for yourself. All right, this is JH. Hopefully this information was useful for somebody. Don't go running to work. Well, JH said this. No, I'm just reading the rules, okay? Just sharing information. All right, this is JH, and I'm out.